Hey there, it's Melissa with melissaesplin.com and calligraphy.org.
And Haley with Type Affiliated.
I'm so excited to share with you a little unboxing and review of the Pilot Parallel Pen hand lettering set. I just want to give Goulet Pens a shout out for sending this little set to us to try out. It's been really fun to play around with.
Fun. These are really wonderful pens, and we're super excited to give you more information on them and to show this product to you.
Yeah, so we'll be unboxing this and reviewing it, but first, let's talk about calligraphy versus hand lettering versus pointed pen versus broad edge. Yeah. Because this is something that's really, really important.
So in the lettering community, in the lettering world, there's a lot of confusion about what is what. So just a quick overview. So calligraphy is beautiful writing. Mm-hmm. So calligraphy is when your strokes are actually creating the letters, you know? So you use either a broad edge pen, which we're going to be talking about, or a pointed pen. Hand lettering is drawn letters. So that's when you use a pencil or a pen and you're actually drawing out the letter forms and filling them in and doing different things. So your strokes themselves are not the thing necessarily making the letter form.
And it's more like illustration, really. Mm-hmm. In the calligraphy vein, there's broad edge and pointed pen. And I would imagine if you have been a beginner at any point in your calligraphy and lettering journey, you've bought some supplies, you've been so excited, you get to using them, and they suck. And 95% of the time, the calligraphy supplies don't necessarily suck, it's just they suck for the intended use. For example, if you get a set of broad edge pens and you're hoping to do some Spencerian lettering with it, mm-hmm. or something that's very delicate and modern, you know, like our modern calligraphy that's super popular, you are not going to have good luck. It's going to suck. And you're going to be frustrated and you're going to feel like it's all your fault, when really it's a bad alignment between supplies and the intended output. So we want to tell you about the difference between the two so that if you do purchase these supplies, you're going to use them in the right intended use and you're going to be excited and happy with what you're getting.
So let's talk about broad edge. So broad edge calligraphy is exactly what it sounds like. So it means that your nib has a broad edge. So if any of you have ever bought like Speedball C2 nibs, they're those square looking things, and that is what you're going to use for broad edge. And broad edge is really great if you want something that's bold, something kind of classic. So the italic alphabet, uncials, Gothic, all those things are done with a broad edge. You're not going to get those really thin, kind of cursive-y, flourishy kind of things with a broad edge pen, and that's important to remember. So when you're buying a set with multiple things or buying a broad edge, remember, it's for block letters. The way that we get thicks and thins with a broad edge is all dependent on the angle that you hold your pen. So holding it at a 45-degree angle or a 30-degree angle or whatever, that's what's going to give you your thicks and thins with a broad edge nib.
Exactly. And typically speaking, if you're looking at calligraphy supplies, if it has a number involved, so Speedball C2, or with this particular set, with the parallel pens, you've got 6mm, 3.8mm, the measurement really tells you that it's intended for broad edge use.
Yep.
Let's talk about pointed pen a little bit. It's really dependent upon pressure. So alignment and angle are really important for just getting everything to function, but pressure is what's going to give you the thicks and the thins, not necessarily your angle, quite like broad edge. And that allows you to get these long sweeping lines of fine hairlines. So that's roughly, in a couple minutes, the difference between broad edge and pointed pen. And most people, if you're looking for modern calligraphy, what we are calling modern calligraphy, is really a gestural pointed pen calligraphy script style.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but do you really want to be putting that many words before it? No, so we're just nicknaming it. We're going with the flow. It's modern calligraphy. So when it comes to this particular set, the Pilot Parallel hand lettering set, it is not for modern calligraphy. It's not, because it's really meant for broad edge work.
Yeah, but just because you can't do modern calligraphy with these pens doesn't mean there's not tons of really cool way to experiment. There's so many people out there right now, especially, that are doing really amazing things with broad edge calligraphy and just getting some really cool styles and really interesting stuff.
We are in a very big pointed pen phase. So it'll come, it'll go, broad edge will come back in. I feel like it is still kind of coming in a different way. Fracture, Gothic, Batard.
Yeah.
Those are really, really hot right now, especially with more of the male demographic of letters and calligraphers.
They're very masculine.
They are, but super awesome.
Super cool.
So,
So that just gives you a little bit of an idea about how to tell the difference between the products that you're buying, so that when you're at the store or online ready to purchase your calligraphy supplies, you kind of have a little bit of idea of what you need to get for the kind of work that you want to do.
yeah, and we don't want you to waste money, and we don't want you to be disappointed with the things that you buy. That being said, we are so excited.
So excited.
So this package includes a lot of really great things. Included in it is an instruction booklet with examples of how to actually put the ink inside the pen, get that to work. And then it has 4 pens with different sizes. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Right?
So nice.
It also comes with black and colored inks, which is really helpful to get you started.
Super nice.
A pipette for cleaning out the cartridge or to clean out the pen, and then a floss almost, like a little paper plastic floss to clean in between the 2 plates where the ink comes down.
Mm-hmm. And you might, when you're unboxing it, you might just think, what is this? And throw it away. But don't throw it away, because it's actually super helpful to keep around. So that little piece of plastic, don't write it off as unimportant.
Yes. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you keep that. So, okay, downsides to this. I think there's really only one downside. And the packaging is incredibly deceptive, which is why we talked about the difference between broad edge and pointed pen in the first place. Some of the lettering on the exterior of the package is really, it's either hand lettering or brush lettering.
Yeah,
It's not
broad edge.
Not made with these tools. And the exemplars in the instruction book, they're really just fonts that have been laid out. And I think the fonts are really great to pull inspiration from.
Yep.
But it's not necessarily like a true ductus to tell you where the strokes are, what the angle is, or really how you manipulate the pen in order to get certain strokes. But it's not a terrible starting point.
Yeah.
But just fair warning.
So when you get your pen, the first thing you're going to need to do is get it started. So you're going to need to put in an ink cartridge. And how that works is you just unscrew the top, get a cartridge, and push it on there. Don't be afraid to just really push it. I know for me, that's always a problem I have. I'm always scared I'm going to break something and explode ink. Don't worry. It's built for a reason like this. So just go ahead and push it on there.
Push it real good.
Push it real good. If you're having a hard time getting the ink to flow again, just go ahead and take that little piece of plastic and kind of run it through those 2 plates, and that'll help your ink to flow.
Yeah. And if you're really desperate and it's just the ink is not flowing, squeeze the ink cartridge. It should push a little bit of that ink down into the ferrule, but also you can dip it in a little bit of water. Make sure that water is clean. Distilled water is preferred, just because you really don't want to gum up all of the fine actions of the pen itself. So you can dip it in there, and it should start kind of letting down the rest of the ink to get that to flow nicely.
And these pens do flow nicely. That was one of our very favorite things about writing with them, is even though it is flowing. I know I've used other pens where they either flow way too much and you get big blotches, or they like kind of are choppy and they cut out different places, but these flow so well.
So evenly. So well. They travel really nicely. The one problem is you may be tempted to put just straight ink into the barrel, and you can. There are plenty of videos you can search on YouTube that'll show you how to do that. But if you're going to travel with these pens, stick to the Pilot cartridges for sure, because they don't explode on you. If you're going to put straight up ink in the barrel, it's going to explode. You're going to have some ink messes. I know this from experience. So
she's always making messes.
I am. Yes.
Another really cool thing about these two is just the way that they feel in your hand.
Yeah.
The weight is really nice. Just the way that they grip is really nice. They just feel good. They just feel good to write with.
Yes. And I think overall, total win. One small design flaw. I wish I could put the cap on the end.
Yes, I thought about that too.
That's the only thing that I think as a product.
That is kind of annoying.
It's just, it's a little obnoxious, because I'm like, no, I need to find a place to keep track of all these lids. It just be nice to put it on the end.
But not a deal breaker for me. I've been
No.
using these for a couple weeks now, and I've been telling all these people about them. Whenever people come over to my house, I make them use them.
Yeah.
Because I think they're wonderful.
They're really great.
They're so good.
So if you're curious about these, if you've wondered about the Pilot Parallel pens, definitely give them a try. And again, thanks so much to Goulet Pens for sending them our way, and check them out. Just see the links in the description below, and check us out on Instagram. I'm at Melissafer,
And I'm at Type Affiliated.
and stay tuned for more videos every week.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Take care.